This video is on bibliographies, but before you can get a bibliography, of course, you got to insert sources, create sources using the Citations tool. So we're going to start with that. So typically, it's a research project that you've done or an essay or something, and you want to quote your sources. And so we're going to start by just creating sources. So let's say that you got this information from a book or a website, so you put your insertion point there, and then you have a couple of choices here. All right, one is add new source and one is add new placeholder. Now, add new source will force you to put in all the information about that source right away, whereas add new placeholder allows you to come back and do that later. So those are your two big choices here. So if I ask to add new source, understand that it's going to expect you to do all of this. So I'm going to just pause this video and just type in some stuff and then bring it back. So I just typed in some information, and then you can change the tag name if you want, okay? And then you can just say okay. So there's one. And I'm going to create some more. So I'm going to come here now, and I'm going to insert citation. Now, instead of adding a new source, let's try this way for now. And I'll call this habits instead. But understand that even though this is like a shortcut, I need to come back and fill that information in for this, all right? So even though there's two ways, one of them postpones the inevitable, all right? So those are your real choices, right? So now it's got the name here, and I would just continue to do that as I go down the document. Now, rather than make this video an hour long, I think you get the gist of that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to update this field now, right? So in order to fill that one in, I need to go to Manage Sources. All right, and now you see this one's got a check mark basically saying, yep, this one's good to go. Habits, we're not too sure about that one, and it's correct. So I need to finish this one. So I need to click on it, and then I have to edit that one. And now I need to fill this in. So I'll pause the video once again to do that. All right, so I'm almost done here, and I just want to show you though that it doesn't necessarily need to be from a book. It could be from an article, conference proceedings, a report, a website, right? So these are all the types of sources that you can choose from, and fill in the information. So now that one's been updated as well, and then I can close this. Now, some people like to get things done ahead of time. So if you know exactly what you're going to be quoting throughout the exercise, you can go right to Manage Sources here and hit New and just load them all in ahead of time. So those are really three ways you can get this thing started. And the benefit of that, of course, is as you're going down your document now, when you go to Insert Caption, it's showing you your lists for this particular file. So you can simply, quickly, and easily click on the one that belongs there, and then keep going down your document and let people know where it is you got that information. So insert citation and then put that there. Pretty fast, pretty easy, nice. Couple more things we need to cover. All right, so I've created some more, and so that we have something to actually create a bibliography with. The small little thing, but they mention it in the text, so I'm assuming they might ask you about it in the actual exam, is styles. Now, whoever you're doing this project for will probably specify which style that they want, and you have the ability to modify it right here. And it's a minor thing. If I change style, it's just going to change the font here, and it's probably going to change the way your bibliography looks at the end as well. So I'm just going to click one to see if anything changes here. And I tried it earlier, and you know there was a slight font change, etc. But it's just a slight little subtle change. So I'm just going to go back to the standard. That's the default right there. Top one, APA is the default. So that's how you change the style if they want you to change the style. Now, as far as the actual bibliography, when you're ready, when you've cited all of your work, you're going to want to wait till you're done. And typically, you'll probably go to the end of your document. I'm assuming maybe even a new page, right? Or at least give yourself some space. And then after that, to create the bibliography is actually very, very easy. You simply come here, and then you can choose one of these that you like, all right, and just click it, and there it is. There's your bibliography. I've never actually done this before. I thought it was going to be more daunting, but it's actually very straightforward. If you want to update this, if you've made some changes, if you've added a reference, right, or a citation, as they call it, two ways to do it. One is you just come down here to bibliography and you click once, and you will probably get this little toolbar, which allows you to update. All right, so you click that and it'll update. The other way that seems to be working is you right click, and then from there you get update. All right, so depending on the style and the way you created it, clicking may not give you that option, but right clicking will. So two different ways to update this. So there it is, your video on creating sources by inserting citations, right? And then editing them, filling them in, putting all the information that you need to, and then dropping them in anywhere that you need to in the document. And then when you're done putting all that information in, you're able to create a bibliography at the end of your document, and you're done.